Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Flex here, and today I'm going to talk about condiments. Condiments, ketchup, barbecue sauce, mayonnaise, peanut butter, jelly, etc. Things like that. Things you don't often think about, whether you are training or not training. But once you start tracking your macros, it's something that you very much need to be subconscious about, okay? Now, condiments are great in moderation, but it's not something that you're really thinking of, okay? When you're thinking about weight, gain, or loss, you're thinking about carbs and fats. Well, have you ever looked at condiments? How much you use? What do most people think about? Oh, I got to eat like I'm eating cardboard, real plain, boring stuff, or if I'm eating salads all the time. Well, salads in a nutshell don't really have too much nutritional value because iceberg lettuce is just water. Romaine, green leaf, and red leaf also have very minuscule amounts. Now, you're going to get most from your darker leafy greens like kale, collards, broccoli rabe, and so forth and so on. That's neither here nor there, but just to put it out there. So when you eat a salad, what do? You dump cheese and dressing and croutons and a bunch of different stuff on there, making it pretty much unhealthy. There's very little to no protein. You're going to have fats and carbs, all right? Not the best thing. So all the products I'm about to show are just things that I have around the household, not necessarily mine. Could be my kids, okay? So I'm not bashing any of these companies. I'm not bashing these products. I'm not sponsored by any of them. They're just what I have around my house. Let's take, for instance, ketchup. People like hot dogs, hamburgers, meatloaf, different things that require ketchup in it, okay? It's not going to be as bad as the other ones I'm going to mention in this video, but it does add up quickly, okay? Serving size is 1 tablespoon. That's 5 carbs, 4 of it being sugar, okay? Most time, you're not thinking subconsciously when you're dumping it on a hot dog or when you're dumping it on your fries or you're dumping it on your burger. It adds up quickly. And if you're tracking your macros, you know how minuscule when you are cutting or maintaining, that is important to keep macros in check. And your carbs and your fats can get taken up very, very quickly. Mayonnaise. Used to love mayonnaise on turkey sandwiches. I don't even care for mayonnaise anymore. And I have tried the fat-free, just disgusting. I can't do it. Okay, for me, it doesn't work. But just your regular old real mayonnaise, okay? Serving size is 1 tablespoon. It is no carbs and no protein. But what's bad about it is it's fat, and it's not a good fat. It's bad fat. All right? And that serving size is 1 tablespoon. Okay? When you're making a sandwich, you probably use more than that on one slice of bread. And you're going to use 2 for a sandwich or a hoagie, and you're going to lather it on there. And that'll add up quick. Before you know it, you're at 60 grams of fat. That's not too good, okay? You don't want to utilize nasty fats unless you're doing if it fits your macros style training, okay? And I do not push that. Next thing we're going to look at, barbecue sauce. In this fact, honey barbecue sauce, which was normally my favorite. Now I use it very, very, very rarely, only if I have a little bit of room for it. Serving size on this is 2 tablespoons. For this one in particular, it's 18 carbs, 16 of it being sugar. If you're having a big steak, you're going to dump it on there without thought. And before you know it, 70 carbs are gone, okay? That's a lot of carbs just to use for some sauce, and it's not good carbs, all right? Another one I'm going to talk about, bringing back to salads, salad dressing, okay? This one in particular is ranch, 2 tablespoons, okay? Just to give you a little idea here. 1 gram of carbs, that's great. Protein, 0, not good. And fat, 14 grams, okay? When you're making a salad, are you actually measuring for a tablespoon? Probably not, okay? You're going to dump it on there, and before you know it, 40, 50, 60 grams of fats later. That's not a good idea, okay? You want to have healthy fats incorporated in your meals. Another one, fan favorite, peanut butter and jelly. Kids love it. I loved it all the time while growing up. If anybody remembers Eureka Castle, the dragon always had peanut butter sandwiches. And that shows how old I am. So, 1 tablespoon is a serving size, 13 grams of carbs, 12 of it being sugar. That adds up quick, okay? Most of the time, you're not going to sit there and measure how much you're putting on there, okay? You can utilize this stuff, guys. I'm not trying to scare you away from it, but be mindful, okay? Serving sizes add up quickly. And the easiest way to do this, if you get a cheap, effective food scale, and you put the spoon on that you'll be measuring with, and you tear it out down to 0, and then you put the product on of whatever you have, jelly, mayonnaise, whatever. It'll say by the serving size in grams how much this stuff is supposed to weigh. So for the jelly here, it's 13 grams for the serving size, okay? So you set it to grams, put the spoon on, tear it out, grab the stuff, put it on the spoon, put it back on, and get it to 13 grams. And you'll be surprised how small the serving size really is. Okay, there's a joke in the bodybuilding community where peanut butter, people don't want to give up peanut butter. It's a great fat, and if you use it in moderation, it is good and healthy for you. And I love peanut butter. I'm never going to give it up. I use it in my shakes all the time. But people will sit there and use this honking spoonful of it and say, oh, well, they didn't say how much is the serving size. They just said it's a teaspoon or a tablespoon. So as long as it fits on there, most of them are 2 tablespoons. As long as it fits on there, that's my size, okay? Well, you'd be surprised at how small that actually is, okay? And when you're doing this with these things and you're tracking your macros, you will get a baseline for everything and realize what you do and don't need, okay? One of my favorite things to do, I like to use olive oil, which is a great healthy fat. When I make a chicken breast, I will just put a few slices in it, put it in foil, and then I will drizzle 1 serving, which is 1 tablespoon or a teaspoon, I forget off the top of my head, of the olive oil on the chicken with some fresh ground pepper and some garlic powder, not garlic salt. Wrap it up in the foil, put it in the oven, 425 for about an hour. Comes out really juicy, really tender. It's really good, and it just allows me to have more flavor with the seasonings that don't contain salt, because I don't really like to have a lot of sodium. You would be surprised how much sodium you have in a day when you utilize a site like MyFitnessPal, who again, I am not sponsored by. I'm not trying to plug them to be sponsored by them or anything like that. Just that's what I use. That's what I pitch. I tell you guys stuff that I use and what I've done real world experience with. But it is great to eat and actually have the flavors from the stuff that I'm eating versus dumping condiments on it and not getting anything out of it except those condiment flavors. Okay, so just be mindful, guys. This is just a video to show you things around your household. You know, take a look one day. You know, check out your spaghetti sauces. Okay, check out your condiments that you're using. You know, it adds up quickly, and you be more mindful of when you're shopping. You know, it does take a little bit of time to find the right things for your body that you like, and the right spices and the right different things, you know, to correct the wrong ways that, you know, we're force fed growing up, and, you know, not really kept in check with or being subconscious with when we're using these things. Okay, this isn't to bash anybody or any of these companies. I didn't show any in the video. It's just stuff that I have around my house. Be mindful of this stuff, guys, because it does suck up your macros really quickly, usually with your fats and your carbs. Okay, and when you are first starting out, as I said before in another video, track your macros out right how you are eating at that current time, and you'd be surprised how high your fats and your carbs are and how low your protein is. And just like all these condiments here, they're set up where the fats and or the carbs are really high and there's very little to no protein. Okay, so just be mindful, guys. If you liked what you saw, you like what you hear in this video as well as my others, please consider subscribing. I'll be posting videos all day, every day. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, drop them below and I'll be sure to answer them. And to let you know, if you have any ideas, things you want to see, drop it in a comment below. Your idea or question could be my next video. I hope everybody has a blessed day. Stay fit, fam, and I will see you in the next video.